So, Captain America Civil War comes out in a few weeks, and, well, I kind of need something to do this episode, so, yeah, here we go. I am going to guess, conjecture, and think my way through the plot of this movie. I have watched some trailers and done some stuff, and I think I will be able to guess what will happen in the movie. So the movie will start with the Avengers B team, led by Captain America. You know, Falcon, War Machine, Scarlet Witch, maybe Hawkeye if he's up to it. I don't know. And they'll be guarding a world meeting. So, I don't know. The world leaders are meeting together, and Captain America gets a tip from Falcon that a bomb's gonna go off. So Captain America is like, okay, where is it? And he, runs over to defuse the bomb, but Crossbones. He runs into Crossbones. And bam, they get into a cool action scene. Captain America's taking out a bunch of Hydra agents that Crossbones is leading, but the bomb goes off. So, who's seen leaving the scene? Bucky. Bucky is seen leading the scene, or the Winter Soldier. And people are like, oh, this is this Winter Soldier guy. And he's like a major assassin for the KGB, or whatever. So, he probably is the one that planted the bomb. But he's not, because we know Bucky's actually a pretty cool guy, and we know that Crossbones is probably the one who planted the bomb. So, everybody in the world is like, oh, Bucky killed a bunch of world leaders. One of these leaders is, what's his name? T'Chaka, the leader of Wakanda. Well, moving on. So, Iron Man brings Captain America into the Avengers headquarters, and he's like, look, we need to have a talk. This guy, he points at the door, and guess who walks in? General Ross. And General Ross is proposing that the Sokovia Accord takes place. So, General Ross and Iron Man are talking, and they're like, Cap, a bunch of people are dying. You work out like crazy, you're awesome, but you need to stop. We need to get with the government, we need to stop just being vigilantes. And Captain America's like, yo, bro, that's a great idea, but I can't do that, because freedoms and whatever. And Iron Man is like, sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth, or whatever he says. I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have a voice that low. But, so they're like, arguing over this, and they're bickering, and while this is going on, Captain America is secretly trying to find Bucky. So, while Iron Man is lecturing him about this thing, and trying to get him to join this thing, he's trying to find Bucky. And he finds Bucky near the UN building, like a couple blocks away, after the bomb went off. He fled the scene, and a building collapsed due to whatever's. The bomb exploded, and then an aftershock happened, and a building collapsed nearby, and Bucky's in the building. So, Captain America calls in Ant-Man to help get Bucky. We get that scene from the end of Ant-Man. That stuff happens. Ant-Man meets Bucky. Everything's going great, and that's when it all goes downhill. Tony Stark shows up, and he's like, dude, what's going on? That guy's a fugitive. And Bucky's like, oh my gosh, guys, what's going on? Cap, what's going on? And Cap's like, dude, Iron Man, just calm down. Everything's fine. This guy's my friend. And Iron Man's like, he's your friend? Dude, we gotta take him in. And Bucky pulls a gun on Iron Man, and he tries to shoot him, because all he knows is that this guy is trying to take him in, and that is a bad thing. And, you know, Soviet training, whatever. So, I don't know. Iron Man's like, holy shit. And that's when Black Panther comes in. And everybody's like, whoa, who's this guy? And Black Panther's just like, looks at Bucky, and he's like, you killed my dad. And Bucky's like, oh shit. And Iron Man's like, oh shit. And Captain America's like, oh shit. And Bucky's like, I am fucked. And then he just starts booking it. And Captain America starts following him. And then Black Panther's like, I want that guy. So he starts following him. And Bucky hops a motorcycle, and he starts running, and we get that cool shot from the trailers where Black Panther cuts the motorcycle in half. And they run around, and then Captain America gets to the top of the building, and they run through a building, and Bucky jumps out onto a roof, and he's like, oh, I'm free, and then Black Panther just starts beating the shit out of him. And then Captain America's like, oh, I need to get there. So he runs over, and he jumps out the window, and he gets over there, and they start fighting, and they just barely escape. So what Cap does is Cap calls on his friends, and he calls on Falcon, and he calls on Ant-Man, and he calls on Hawkeye, and he calls on Scarlet Witch, and he calls on everybody he knows, and he's like, I have this friend, Iron Man's trying to kill him, and we need to save him. And they're like, shit, dude, bro, we can't do that. I'm sorry. And then Captain America's like, I'm sorry, everything's going wrong. Iron Man wants to make superheroes work for the government. And they're all like, dude, we need to stop this. And the superheroes are split, and they're like, oh, what do we do? And Captain America's like, oh, I'm gonna meet you all in an airport, then we'll find a battle strategy from there. I'm gonna try and go to talk to this guy. He said his dad was killed, the only guy killed in the building collapse at the World Nations thing was this guy from Wakanda. We'll go to Wakanda, and we'll talk it out with the government of Wakanda. See how that works. So he goes there, and Iron Man meets him there. And Iron Man has Iron Man, he's got War Machine, he's got all these guys, and Captain America's got all these guys, and they line up, and they just start whooping ass. And it's a great fight scene, but it's like, oh, shit, what's going on? You got, over here, you got Iron Man fighting Captain America, and then everybody just freezes. Spider-Man comes in. Spider-Man comes in. It's like, holy shit, Spider-Man just came in. And he is whipping ass. He is hurting everybody. He is laying down a beating. He is awesome. And Captain America realizes, whoa, this new guy, he just turned the tides. We don't know what to do with this. Let's go. Let's split. Just bam. I don't know if you can hear me. I just snapped my fingers. He's like, we gotta go. So they try to leave, and they're leaving, but Iron Man just keeps getting in the way. And War Machine is helping him. And he flies up. And Bucky's like, I have no choice. We have to get out of here. So what does he do? Well, War Machine is flying. He shoots him in the arc reactor. The arc reactor fails. War Machine falls to the earth. I don't know if he's dead. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's just hurt badly or something. But Iron Man's like, dude, your best friend just shot my best friend. It's on. Before it was off, but now it's on. We are going at it. This is it. And Captain America's like, no, you don't know why we're fighting. We need to figure out what started this all. And with that, he and his secret Avengers leave. And they're like, no, we can't do this. And they escape. And Iron Man's like, no, my friend is dead, or paralyzed, or badly injured, or whatever. And so his team of Avengers slinks off. Here, Captain America finds out that who was behind Crossbones setting the bomb. It was Claw and Baron Zemo, which, you know, sets up a villain for the Black Panther movie and sets up a main villain for this movie. And maybe he was in the shadows the whole time, I don't know. Maybe he was hanging out with Spider-Man, who also doesn't really have an origin, I don't know. Maybe he does. But, so, now you've got Captain America going after Baron Zemo, and it turns out there was a double agent on Captain America's team. It was Hawkeye. Hawkeye, you're the double agent. So Hawkeye goes to Iron Man and he's like, bruh, these guys are going to this guy, Baron Zemo's castle, and they're gonna beat him up, and you gotta stop him. Because that's where they'll be, and that he's got Bucky. So Captain America's like, we're going to this castle, you can't stop us, fuck off. And Iron Man's like, oh, shit. Well, they're stopping a bad guy, so what's the problem? And he's like, they're not registered with the government, they're being vigilantes. Thunderbolt Ross comes in and he's like, you gotta stop them, Stark. And stuff happens, and so Iron Man flies to this castle, and his team is at the castle, and Captain America's team is at the castle, and they're whooping ass, and all this time, Baron Zemo is just watching and laughing. And Claw is standing there, and he's like, oh, this is sweet. And, yeah, that's about it. Claw's got the gun on his arm, and so what happens here is Captain America looks around him, and he sees Baron Zemo, and all this time he's fighting, he's been trying to get to Baron Zemo, and Iron Man's like, dude, you gotta stop the bad guy. I'm not going to be able to stop you from doing this. I'm not going to be able to bring you in. You're just going to keep fighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the other way, and I'm going to say you beat me, and you go take down Baron Zemo. So Captain America's got this epic fight with Baron Zemo, and all the other Avengers turn up, and they're like, oh yeah, we're totally with you guys. So the Avengers team up, they take out Baron Zemo and Claw, and maybe they've got giant robots Baron Zemo and Claw do, or something. I don't know. But they turn up, they stop the thing, it's an epic climax, and it ends with that. And they're walking off into the sunset. They walk off into the sunset. And Captain America and his team of Avengers will go underground and be secret Avengers. And Iron Man and his team of Avengers will go above ground and be regular Avengers, working for the government and with the government. So nothing really changes, and the cinematic universe goes on. I feel like that's what's going to happen, and that's about all I'm going to say. So, without further ado, this one went a little long, but thanks for watching, and bye.